Hello, my name is John Rich, host of the Everyday Christian Podcast, staff member here at HMA Ministries. And we wanted to do an interview with our friend Todd Sloggett here. You guys, most of y'all know him. He's the founder, president of HMA Ministries, host of the Next podcast. I mentioned that a lot. He's got a new mission. You know, there's a lot of names that I was going to call it before this started, but I think mission is a really good word and way to describe this. But Brother Todd's here. I want him to introduce himself. For those who don't know, most of you probably do. But Brother Todd, if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Todd Sloggett. I am the founder and president of HMA Ministries for some period of time longer. Jonathan calls himself a staff member. He's more or less the vice president training to be president, or there'll be a hostile takeover at some point or something. I'm not sure, but I instigate it myself, so whatever happens, it's my fault. It's hard to explain, I guess, exactly who I am and what I am, but we do run still the networks of the homeless missions and drug rehabs, battered women, children's shelters, runaway and rescue return centers, anti-abortion pregnancy service, help centers, a lot of things. I also own multiple companies, rustic furniture store, online lending company, online clothing company. All of those are for-profit companies that network into the not-for-profit organization that runs all of the missions and outreaches. So we've been doing this. The project has been ongoing, really, and turned from one thing into another until it became HMA for about 27 years. But we've actually been HMA Ministries here in Oklahoma for almost 18. So that's a little bit about it all.
So jumping right into it, what is Elite and how has it come about?
Yes, that's what we're here to talk about. Elite Private Investigating and Bodyguard Company is actually what we're talking about. As we ran the homeless missions and the drug rehabs, the battered women, children's shelters, everything that we did just kind of took us to a different place, just opened a new door, started a new level. We started this homeless mission in downtown Tulsa in 2007. We very quickly learned that you can't work with the homeless unless you're going to deal with addicts. Yeah. So we started all kinds of addict placement and drug addict rehab and detox and all these other things. And that's kind of how everything has worked for the last 17, 18 years is, you know, we start something, we start doing it, and then we realize we have to do something else too. And we find more hurting people, more broken people, more groups of people that aren't being targeted and helped and worked with. And so we just expand and expand and expand. One of the largest expansions we ever did was expanding into funding, expanding into self-financing. We do take donations. We need donations desperately on a continual basis. But the donations make up, over the years, they've made up anywhere from 15 to maybe 30, 35% of our total expenditures for the year. So we started a thrift store, turned into a furniture store, then we bought into a rustic line. Now that original thrift store is now the largest rustic furniture company in the state of Oklahoma. Yeah. The clothing lines, the lending companies, we've tried lawn care, landscaping, all kinds of things. Some of them, were able to stick, and some of them weren't. So as we expanded the ministry group, the mission group efforts, we got to a point eventually where there was 64 different mission groups, homeless being one, drug rehab being one, anti-abortion pregnancy service center being one, and each one maybe only had one location, maybe it had 10 locations. Some of them have over 100 locations. And then taking all of that effort and then starting to try to fund a lot of the effort ourselves was the big deal. We got very, very good, I feel like, at doing self-funding mission work, which is something that is rare.
Right.
And everybody wants to know more about. And we have people come through here all the time, pastors and young ministers and teen groups and schools and colleges just want to learn from us about, self-funding mission work. And taking those two thoughts of what I was talking about, how one work will lead to another work, and then the second thought being the self-funding, brought us to where we are with Elite. It turned out about 2 years ago, I accidentally stumbled into a sex traffic rescue and a child endangerment rescue. A young lady that was being sex trafficked and held against her will, and a child that was held against his will, and horrible things done to him. They weren't my jobs. They weren't my projects. I just ended up with some people that were doing them. We fumbled and stumbled our way through and accomplished. We were successful. We accomplished what we wanted to. We got the young lady out clear, got her some help. She was a legal alien. We got her a green card, got her on track to going to school, so that worked. And then the child endangerment, got the young boy out, turned him over to the state. That didn't work so well. We took him back from the state and moved him to a different state. Then it finally caught on. He went to a Christian adoption agency and got the help that he needed. And so I thought that was really cool, but and it really was kind of up my alley anyway, what we were doing, but not directly rescuing people like that. I didn't think I'd probably ever get into a situation like that again. But come to find out, after doing those first two, they just kept coming. People just kept calling me, talking to me. It kept coming up. People I knew. I work a lot with policing agencies and things, and they would bring it up. And it just became a thing. So for 2022, I was actually given 14 opportunities to rescue some of these children, these girls, and we successfully rescued 13 of the 14. Wow. The one that we did not rescue is an adult woman that we believe is being held against her will in the country of India, which has made it very, very complicated for us to be able to do very much about it. But except for that one, the other 13 we've been successful. The problem has been, I don't know how to put this and not turn some people off, but we get ourselves into some really gray areas. You end up crossing the line of the law, some legalities at times, and it's hard to really know what's what. For example, you find a child that is held against his or her will, being absolutely ridiculously, horribly mistreated. The family wants them out. The police can't or won't or aren't capable of doing what needs to be done. And so I go in and take them out. But technically, by the letter of the law, from the time I take that child until I turn them over to the police or back to the family or whatever, I could be basically kidnapping by the letter of the law. So there's a lot of these gray areas where we were doing a lot of good things, but not always in the best possible scenario, and also very dangerous situations. Right. And we were being as careful as we could. I did what I had to do. I have no problem with the danger. I'm 6'8". I'm a very strong person. I work out every day. I've been around the streets and martial arts and things my whole life, so that part doesn't bother me. I'm not scared, but I'm not stupid either. I don't want to die. I don't want to get my legs broke or anything. So it was getting dangerous, and there was no clear-cut rule of law that was there for us. And so I started working with some district attorneys. They were helping me out, telling me what I could do, what I couldn't do, when I could do it, how much they would back me, when they would back me, when they wouldn't back me. It felt a little better for a while, but still, I mean, they didn't even have to be good for those things. Those weren't contracts or anything. They would just promise me things, and they didn't have to back their promise. Or I could have went in and did something and it not be what they expected, and then they decided they weren't helping me anymore. Or somebody could have got hurt bad or killed in those scenarios, and I could have been charged with it. It just wasn't safe enough and fair enough and square enough to continue to do it that way. Eventually, a district attorney, I consider her a friend, sat me down and she said, "Todd, I know what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I know the reasons why. I appreciate it." And basically, she said, "I support you as much as I can.
Yeah.
But," and then she got real stern and she said, "You have to go back to school, get your certifications, get your licensing, get your training, and become whatever person you're trying to be
Yeah. legitimately,
so that we all don't have to play this game anymore and so that you're safer."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, what is that? What is that person? Is there a sex traffic rescue, child endangerment rescue license in the state of Oklahoma?"
Yeah.
And she said, "No, you need to be a private investigator, bodyguard. There's a license for that. There's multiple licenses for security guard, PI, bodyguard, armed, private investigator, armed bodyguard, unarmed bodyguard, all different things." And so she showed me what basically I needed to do, because she said the courts, the police, the laws, nothing is going to go along with the fact that ministry is a legitimate reason for you to be there in those scenarios.
Yeah.
I believe it is,
Yeah.
but they don't. They don't accept that.
Right.
So what I did, I basically retired from pulpit preaching. Most all you know this. I took a sabbatical a year ago. I have not preached in any pulpits or done anything like that for actually 13 months now.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing all of that time is I've been going to school. I have the DA actually worked up 18 courses that I needed to pass to get all the correct licensing and everything to be able to be in these scenarios appropriately. And I've passed 17 of the 18 courses in the last 10 and a half months or so. There's one more course, which is December 4th through December 12th. And then there's a test for it, a state test, December 13th, I believe. And as long as I pass this last 18th course, then I can petition the state of Oklahoma for my private investigator's armed bodyguard license. So I've done all of that. And in the meantime, while waiting for courses, I've taken a whole bunch of extra courses. I've taken lots of medical courses, advanced CPR and paramedics and classes on choking and using tourniquets, because, I'm going to get in some of these scenarios,
Right.
and I want everybody to survive it, even the bad guys, if I can.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to take care of that. Done those things. Also, there's a little bit of weaponry, pistol training, rifle training, tactical training that it takes to get the license. But I've taken way, way, way more. I train every weekend. I train with ex-SWAT team members, current state troopers, people that are that go in and do other types of rescues or other types of getting individuals, like bounty hunters and skip trace and stuff like that. I train with these guys every weekend, and even my course trainers for my private investigator's license have already told me that I'm way above and beyond what I need to know, which is the kind of guy I am anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to be safe. I want to get people out safely, and I don't want to kill people or destroy people's lives if I can help it. So I'm just adding as much training as I can, even map training, terrain map training, crossing state borders, crossing the Mexican border. I've even taken training and all this kind of stuff because it all applies.
Yeah.
I've taken extra courses on drugs. A lot of these sex traffic people that are doing the sex traffics are doing drug trafficking and sex trafficking together. Fentanyl is a horrible, horrible thing that is killing a lot of people.
Yes.
I have specialized fentanyl kits that will tell me if fentanyl is present in the area, so I don't touch it, so I don't die from touching it. That happens. So we're real deep into it. Where we're at right now is I personally have got about $16,000 of my own money, not the ministry money, my money. About $16,000 of my money into paying for all the classes, passing all the courses, getting the offensive weaponry, having the right pistol, the right duty belt, the right rifle, the right drug testing kits, the right EMT emergency kits, all of that stuff. But I'm really coming up short here towards the end. It just turned way more expensive than I thought it would. I'm still 10 to 12 grand, somewhere around $11,500 short on defensive weaponry, which is what threw me the loop. I left defensive weaponry to the very end because in my mind, whatever, pepper spray, taser, whatever, that's going to be the least expensive compared to a 9mm pistol or a 6.5 Grendel rifle or, the defensive stuff. I'll just get at the end. I'll just pick it up somewhere. Come to find out, it's the exact opposite. The defensive weaponry is the expensive stuff.
Most expensive.
I have the correct education. In a few weeks, I'll have the correct licensing. I have the correct weaponry to do everything legal and legitimately according to everybody that's involved. But the thing that I'm short is protecting myself.
Yeah.
I need a specialized bulletproof jacket. It has to be custom ordered. There's not very many 6'8", 200-pound guys out there doing these things.
Right.
So I did have to custom order because it takes 8 weeks to get it. I put $500 down just to get it coming, but it's a $1,900 jacket. Way more than I ever thought that would be. The taser that I'm being asked to carry is a disposable taser. You shoot it one time and then you throw it away and then you get new ones. That taser's $2,500.
Yeah.
I mean, that just blew me away.
Right.
I'm supposed to carry a shotgun that is a non-lethal weapon. It shoots rubber balls, beanbag rounds, pepper spray balls, flash balls, stuff like that, things that aren't deadly. Turns out those are very expensive. My pistol, every time I pull the trigger, they say that's about 95 cents a pull.
Yeah.
My rifle, every time I pull the trigger, that's like $2.50 a pull. I found out the shotgun with the rubber balls in it, every time I pull the trigger, is about $13 a pull.
Wow.
So very, very expensive. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for ways to kind of finish bringing this all together.
Yeah.
Wrapping up the legalities of finishing the licensing. I think I have I didn't look this week. I get a new one every couple weeks. Either 9 or 10, maybe 11 different licenses and permits and things that I already have. But I just need that one private investigator license is the final one, and then to get the defensive weaponry and stuff together. To be fair and honest and transparent, we are already doing rescues. We've basically done them all along.
Yeah.
But we're not actively networking to try to do it on a full-time basis yet until the license comes in and the rest of the defensive weaponry gets purchased. So, again, kind of crazy roundabout, but that's in a nutshell where we're at right now.
I think that opens it up for my next question, which is what can people do to help or be a part of Elite?
Absolutely. I got a list of things that I've been telling people every day, and they're very, very important to me. I'm not just flippantly throwing these out there, but we need to be on your prayer list.
Yeah.
Daily.
Right.
We need to be prayed for, covered up by the saints. I get into some pretty dangerous situations already, and this is going to be even more dangerous.
Yeah.
And we need prayer. It's desperate. We need it more than we need anything, because at the end of the day, whatever equipment we have, whoever we get or don't get, I still want to come home at night.
Right. Right.
I still got a wife and 4 kids and 5 grandbabies, and I want to be safe.
Yes.
And I don't know anything safer than prayer. So we need covered up. We need to be on your prayer list. Second thing is, we need finances. We need money to get this last little bit put together so it's finalized correctly.
Yeah.
So we can get the defensive weaponry so that I can be safe too while I'm getting everybody else safe. You can give to this, specifically to this cause, to finishing this. And then after that, once we're up and rolling full time, we need all kinds of sponsors. We need individual givers. We need churches, civic groups, companies, corporations. We need partners that are going to give monthly or annually or want to do certain sponsorships. There's all kinds of things we're going to be doing. We're going to be going to different places and helping them with their security, and they're going to pay us and give us offerings and things for that. We're going to do training for people on how to keep your kids safe and not let them get taken, and we'll be getting income and things out of that. Besides, now the actual rescues, when we rescue the sex trafficked and the child endangered, 99% of the time we get nothing. It's very expensive to do. It doesn't make any money. That's another reason why I talked earlier about us creating companies to back our missions. We've always had to have missions and companies separate.
Yeah.
Some people doing the mission work, some people doing the company work. The business is making the money, giving the money across to the nonprofit side. Elite's my first effort in marrying those two things together. I will be able to do private investigator work just like any other private investigator and get paid for it just like everybody else, but I don't need the income. I have an income. So I will use the income I make from Elite to run the rescue side of Elite.
Yeah.
So it'll all be kind of the same thing. So corporate sponsors and things for Elite as a profit corporation will fall into the nonprofit side of doing the rescues and things. The prayers, the initial giving right now to get us to that $11,000, $12,000, ongoing sponsors, corporate giving, family giving, church giving, individual giving going forward after January 2024. And then a couple other things pretty important. Everything we've ever done at HMA, we've done pretty much in-house. When we needed places to put women and babies, we built women and children's homes.
Yeah.
When we needed places to put drug addicts, we built drug rehabs. We like to have control, make sure things are done correctly, biblically, sanely, properly. And so one thing that I know is going to happen, especially with the sex trafficked and even probably some of the child endangerment, is we get them out quickly and then we have to have somewhere for them to go.
Right.
They may have to be somewhere overnight. They may have to be somewhere for 2 or 3 days. They may have to be somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks. They may need to be somewhere while we get their alien status worked out. They may need to be somewhere where we make sure whoever had them isn't still trying to find them. We may just need a place for a 13-year-old girl to get off the streets overnight because the facility that's going to take her doesn't open till the next day. So we need safe houses.
Yeah.
You know me, I don't do things small. We are going to put together our own safe houses, and they're going to be secure. And we're going to we already have somebody working on an app for us, an app builder.
Yeah.
And all of our safe houses are going to be embedded in this secret app. The app can be put on your phone and then look like it's deleted. It'll be on your phone, but nobody could search and find it.
Yeah.
So we could get it to a lot of people that are prostitutes and girls on the streets.
Right.
Get the app on all their phones, and that way if they don't get out right away, then their captives can't find that and delete it because it won't be seen.
Yeah.
It'll just be running in the background.
Wow.
Get that app out as much as we can. All of the locations for the safe houses are going to be embedded in the app. Once we rescue somebody, we're going to give them a code. They open the app on their phone and they put in the code, and then immediately the app will tell them where's the closest safe house to wherever they are.
Yeah.
At the same time, as soon as they're told where the closest safe house is to wherever they are, that's whoever is manning that safe house for us will get a signal telling them where that person is according to their phone.
Wow.
So then you'll have both sides working together. They're trying to get to you. You're trying to help them get to you. Either you go get them or you meet them halfway, or you start preparing for them to show up. And within the app, you can text back and forth. So you're not texting on your phone in case somebody has
Yeah.
control of you
Yeah.
can see what you're texting and who you're texting, who you're calling. It's all done within the app, and they can't see that. So you get the app, you put in your code, tells you where the nearest safe house is. You get pinged at the safe house. You start texting within the app until you get together and you end up at the safe house. And then we can take care of you from there. We actually already have one fully functioning safe house.
Yeah.
It's in the Mid-South, I'll just say that much. We have another one that is completely approved and ready to go, and it's in the southeast of the United States. It will be up and running just as soon as I can finish all the communication to who's manning it down there. And so within just a few days, we'll have 2 active safe houses. I really need probably 12 to 15 of them scattered around the United States.
Yeah.
I'd like to have 100 of them, but to hit enough of the regions, we need at least probably a dozen minimum. So there's one already fully active, one of them about to be active, 2 more in the northwest west quarter of the United States that we're looking at, and then 1 more, I think, kind of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, kind of that East Coast mid-Atlantic region that we're looking at. So very possible that within maybe by Christmas, we could have 4 or 5 up and running.
Yeah.
Definitely be 2 up and running by the end of next week. Definitely 1 already usable as of right now. So we're talking about covering this up with prayer, giving towards the initial startup funds, sponsoring it continually along, any kind of gift and giving. And then the 4th one being safe house.
Yeah.
Contacting us if you live in an area where you feel like you live in a way, whatever your family unit is, whatever your lifestyle is, that you would like to say, hey, we would like to be on that app. You can call upon us.
Yeah.
If you have a child, and you could be on the map for the safe houses, and we could never use you. We don't know. We could use you once ever. You may be used 10 times. The one that's in the Mid-South is probably going to be used a lot because the sex trafficking is coming up out of Mexico into Texas, into Oklahoma, and that's, that safe house is within that region. Right. And you may just say, I couldn't keep somebody for a week or 2, but I could keep a child overnight or something.
Yeah.
Just the more that we could put together of places that are safe for these children, these girls, on whatever period of time frame.
Yeah.
The better. So you think about that, talk to your spouse or your family or if you're an individual or, whatever. We'd love to look at your setup and see if it's something that could be used to make one of these people safe. And then the last one is super, super, super important. We are putting together some information right now. We're getting a website together. We're getting everything put together between me and John here. And we're going to have this, matter of fact, what we're doing here tonight, this conversation, is we're going to get it online and get it available to people. Yeah. And something people keep saying, I don't know what I could do, but I want to help, or I don't, what could I do? I can't do. Listen, what you can do is you can be the mouthpiece
Right.
to these girls and these children.
Yeah.
You can talk to all your family, all your friends, all your coworkers, everybody you know. Ask your pastor if he's interested. Ask your boss if he's interested. Ask civic groups. I'm going out for the next several weeks, and I'm speaking in churches. I'm speaking at Lions clubs and Rotary clubs. I'm speaking at a big, huge company that just has a bunch of employees that wants me to talk about all of this. So, I'll speak anywhere. We'll get involved with anybody we can, but if you can go to our website, and I'll go ahead and give the website now. Yeah. It's not, it's 99% done, probably, maybe 95% done.
Elite to the Rescue.
I forget what we named it. EliteToTheRescue.com.
Yes.
EliteToTheRescue.com. You can actually go on that right now. It's not totally finished, but there's enough information there that you could learn a lot about what we're doing. So the EliteToTheRescue.com website, this conversation we're having here, more and more information we're going to continue to put out. You can go to my Facebook pages, my personal page, Todd Sloggett, my public figure page, Todd Sloggett. And I've talked a lot about that. You could share the pictures, you could share the background of what's
Yeah,
going on,
yeah.
you could share the story, and you can just, if 100 people took it upon themselves and just say, okay, I'm going to be a part of Elite.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do the rescues. I'm not going to put my life in danger. I'm not going to do tactical training. I'm not going to have any weapons. I can't give a lot of money myself, but I'm going to tell people about this. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to spread the word. I'm going to see who wants to help me get involved, who wants to help me do a fundraiser for them,
Yeah.
who do I know that might have them come and speak. If 100 people did that, the things that we're going to be able to accomplish in the next 6, 9, 12 months are just going to be manifold and manifold and manifold, because I can't be everywhere at once. And, you know, I'm going to be the one doing the spearheading, the boots on the ground, the literal physical rescues. But if I'm doing that, who's all going to be my support? You can be my
Yeah,
support.
right.
You can talk about this. You can get involved. You can find out where the safe houses could be. You can find out who can sponsor and donate. You can find out who might want to be a corporate sponsor. You can get together with your friends and have a rockathon or a car wash
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
and donate it to Elite. There's plenty that can be done. Nobody has to be like me or like you or like, we can just all be ourselves because we all have a different group of people that we influence every day.
Right.
And if somebody hears this from Ohio and somebody from Texas and somebody from California and somebody from Arkansas and somebody from North Carolina, and you start spreading the word and I end up getting connected to these people, you give them my phone number, whatever, you're just going to make it where we rescue that many more people.
Yeah.
We're going to stop that much more evil. We're going to help that many more broken. It's just going to grow and grow and grow. So, sum it up one more time. Cover us in prayer, please.
Yes.
Give to the initial financing of getting this off the ground. Give or find people that can give to the ongoing rescues as we need the funds to do more and more. Think about the safe house environment and see if you could plug in there somewhere, and then be the voice of the raped and the
Yes.
kidnapped and the beaten and the helpless and the hopeless, and build this up wherever you are to make it easier for us to help more of them.
Yes. I love it. We've already discussed that. EliteToTheRescue.com. I'll add that to the screen so that people know where to find it. What is another? I know Elite. Obviously, you're going to have contact info on there. Is there another way people can reach out to with questions or?
Yeah, you can always private message me on Facebook, either
Okay.
one of my pages. You can. We have a special phone number set up now just for Elite. It's actually on the website, but let me pull it up because I have not memorized it yet.
And I'll add that to the bottom of the screen as well, and how to reach them out on Facebook.
You can call or text at 918-955-8049. That is the Elite PI number. If you have my phone number, which almost everybody alive in America seems like they do, you can call and text me directly there as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brother Todd, thanks for sharing that with us. And again, there's so many things and ways that we can help and support. I don't have money, or I can't go and be boots on the ground, but everybody can pray.
That's right.
Everybody can spread the word.
Yes.
And I think that that's a huge part of it too. So please help us be a part of this mission. Help us, again, to reach those who are hurting, those who are dying. And we want to thank Brother Todd for sharing that with us. And if you have any questions, again, we'll put it up on the screen, how you can reach out, and God bless.
Thanks for helping me out.
Awesome.